Absolutely. 100%.
So the king is back.
It's truly a pleasure to be here, to be witnessing the journey of GRC. So I guess a younger Ramsés starting as a salesman.
Now, which is an outstanding career, by the way.
Understanding capitals, what's behind the technology. Technology is great.
Believe in some areas in the world.
The experience that comes with knowledge and failures and successes.
Who are actually running with a warning bell saying quantum apocalypse is coming.
Because when apocalypse comes, the doomsday, quantum doomsday comes, it's a world with no secrets. It's part of life.
In a world driven by complexity, leadership needs more than technology. It needs clarity, oversight, and control to enable governed digital execution, architecting trust in the digital era. FIG Solutions lead with confidence.
Welcome to the GRCAST, Ramsés. To our audience, they don't know that, but this is your second time with us. First time didn't happen because you left early.
Yeah.
And I'm super happy that we have you on the GRCAST this time. And I would love to share with our audience a bit of information about you. Basically, what are your major milestones in your life that ended up with your career right now, which is an outstanding career, by the way.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, thank you for having me at the GRCAST. It's truly a pleasure to be here, to be witnessing the journey of GRC, you know? Yes. So it's great to be here. But it's great to be here at my 52 years of age, my name being Ramsés.
Yes.
I'm from Barcelona, Spain. I'm Chief Technologist with DXC. But I've been doing technology, cybersecurity, privacy, governance, assurance, you name it, for more than 2 decades, 25 years actually. So I guess a younger Ramsés starting as a salesman, you know, selling antivirus at that time and firewalls and etc., wanted to understand. Let me pause there for a second. Understanding capitals, what's behind the technology. Technology is great, right? Yeah. But I wanted to understand the whys do we need a firewall at that time? The whys do we need protection on antivirus, etc. So I started a career of certifications and professional accreditations. I am very proud of being ISACA certified, CISM, C-Guide, Stanford certified project manager, COVID certified, Six Sigma black belt. So let's say that this, not that young Ramsés anymore, but this veteran enjoys conference like this one and that is happening in Sharm el-Sheikh, but also the experience that comes with knowledge and failures and successes on again, that salesman that became a professional on understanding governance, assurance, privacy, cybersecurity, so back as a
I just feel like you're very humble because you forgot to mention that you're part of our ISACA Hall of Fame.
Well, absolutely.
And I say our because a lot of you might not know it, but I'm a member of ISACA too. But he is a Hall of Fame.
No. I wanted to mention that, and I think that the audience will appreciate that. There are only 30 in the world. I'm an ISACA Hall of Fame. You can see my proud pin in here. I'm also a marathoner, you know. But that younger Ramsés, you know, realized that commitment, discipline, tenacity, passion is part of life. Professional life and personal life, in me, my marathons and my commitment and my long distance running. So in a nutshell, that's who I am, and I'm blessed, you know, being in this GRCAST in the summit. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to ask you because this is your second year with us.
Right.
First year you were invited, and I'm not going to keep it secret. I invited you personally to come with us.
Yeah.
And then the second year you became a global ambassador for the event.
Which is an honor.
It's not just an honor, it's something we love, actually.
Absolutely, 100%.
So the king is back, if nobody knows that. And I wanted to ask you, like, what did you learn from last year or this year? And what do you think we or you or even the summit brings to the people coming here to attend with us?
I love the question because remember that I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago the journey?
Yes.
Well, this is a journey. I have experienced the journey. So this year summit is about widening the discipline. So now we talk AI and quantum. And then still governance, assurance, privacy, monitoring, auditing, endpoint protection, identity management, access control. So everything under the sun is related to who has access to what, is related to the right people having the right access to the right data at the right time. And that includes AI. The right AIs having the right access, you know what I mean? So I've seen that journey from, with the sign of the times, I call it, it's happening because the world out there is shaped by AI, by quantum, by data protection, by regulation, and legislation as well. So I celebrate this 5th edition of GRC Summit and getting more mature, more diverse in terms of topics, but still with one goal and one goal only: sharing, educating, and elevating the game, Ramzy. So elevating the game, yeah.
That's really great to hear. And that, you mentioned quantum twice, and me and you will live in a different region than where we are right now. And in that region, there are people who are actually running with a warning bell saying quantum apocalypse is coming. I use that term because I sincerely believe in some areas in the world, it will be an apocalypse. They will not be ready in time, and there will be some consequences.
Strong word, but I fully agree, yeah.
How do you feel about this? What happens, let me maybe even share it in a very clear way. What happens if we reach the quantum apocalypse? Of course, without being ready, otherwise it would be no quantum apocalypse.
You asked me 2 questions. How do I feel? I feel scared. And what happens? Chaos. And you probably say, and our audience is thinking, what did he say? Yeah, chaos. Because when apocalypse comes, the doomsday, quantum doomsday comes, it's a world with no secrets. A world with no barriers and no frontiers in terms of data. Why? Because any type of encryption that we are using today, any RSA encryption, Diffie-Hellman encryption, elliptic curve encryption,
even hash functions.
Exactly, can be broken. Digital signatures, and that changes the name of the game. Again, privacy gone, and you and I live in a region of the world that takes pride of general data protection regulation. Well, bye-bye, unless we take action. Good to know that it is not for tomorrow, so we have time. Or maybe not, but the conversation needs to start now. So in order to avoid the apocalypse or the tsunami or doomsday, well, start asking questions on how robust is our encryption. Should we enable some sort of study, investigate some sort of post-quantum encryption? That they are not the standards yet, but there are proposals that they work flawlessly. Flawlessly. No 1, not 2, but 3. They work flawlessly. So in order to avoid the apocalypse, start the conversation now, because otherwise, secrets, bye, gone.
In a world driven by complexity, leadership needs more than technology. It needs clarity, oversight, and control to enable governed digital execution, architecting trust in the digital era. FIG Solutions lead with confidence.
Yeah, and that opens for me a venue to take you into AI and quantum, and what I like to call the AI quantum marriage. A lot of people don't know that there is a marriage between both, because also I think it's our mistake as security professionals. We emphasize the biggest, let's say, problems. Cybersecurity for quantum is the decryption. Okay, but if I have 60 terabytes of data, decrypting them theoretically could take so much time. With quantum, that's not the case.
No, correct.
And a lot of people don't know that. And then if it's unstructured data or different structure, or it would have taken us as, let's say, if I'm a data scientist, I'm not, but like if I'm a data scientist, a lot of time to find a way to figure it out. With AI and agents and everything, and this is also, progressing fast. This marriage is a bit scary, but also we need to be prepared for it. We cannot always be just scared. We have to prepare. So
precisely.
What do you think we should do?
Okay, let me call it that marriage that you mentioned, let me call it the lethal combination. Because if quantum provides something, apart from the ability of decrypting, etc., it's power, massive power, because of following the rules of the kingdom of physical, and so the physics, in the kingdom of physics, the photons of light, they behave differently. So it brings massive computing power. AI requires, as everybody knows these days, massive computing power. So it's a lethal combination. And the big names in the industry, the Googles of the world, Microsofts of the world, NVIDIAs of the world, they already have libraries designed exactly for what you just mentioned. Merging massive amounts of information in a nanosecond, so quantum plus AI, it's a lethal combination. We need to be very paying attention to that. truth to be told, quantum is still in its infancy.
Yes, that's
But
true.
it will become older, a teenager.
Yeah.
And certainly it will become an adult. We need to take, to be paying attention to that lethal combination, because again, there are trillions, with a T, trillions of investments on quantum. So this is not just a fashion.
Yeah,
It's not just a trendy thing that someone thought, no, I'm sorry. It's not a thing only in the labs, in technical laboratories. No, on the contrary. Microsoft has a language, a software architecture called Liquid. So is the next Python, if I may say, or the new C++, or NVIDIA has libraries designed for that. So it's a lethal combination. And my ask to the audience today is just start asking questions, start investigating, start being curious. I mean, there are other million things that we need to do in cybersecurity, privacy, etc. But one of those million things, get to your IT team and start a 1 hour per week, or per hour, 1 hour every 2 weeks conversation. Create a little task force, some investigation, and you need to keep doing DLP and data protection.
Yeah,
of course, all of the things they remain.
I find myself weird when I say the classical way. It has to continue.
You still need to do that.
Yeah.
Firewalling and intrusion detection, 100%.
And even on process level, risk management and compliance and everything. But because of time, I want to switch to a portion of our audience.
Okay.
Which is basically the board.
Okay.
These are the decision makers. So how can we, in an effective, non-checklist, because, for example, in the EU, we have a requirement, I think it's in DORA, and maybe hinted in NIS2, or the other way around, I always mix it, about one person in the boardroom has to be educated, and even almost with a kind of certificate, regardless that the certificate is not defined. That's fine. But that makes it, as usual, maybe, we get this guy, he loves this.
Done.
Checkbox. How can we make it in an effective way? And how can we as professionals help? How can we help them to really understand what's coming?
Well, to be honest with you, understanding the impact in the business. So doing a checklist sort of thing, it will not help the business. But if you understand the impact of misbehaving with quantum, if you don't understand the impact of AI and the different agents doing crazy things, well, that's wrong. I mean, the checklist will not solve the impact and the consequences of a poor governance mechanism. So in the very same way that we did with cloud, in the very same way that we did with other disciplines over IT history and business history, that we asking the right question, who has access to what. When cloud, we did the questions on when cloud, who cloud. Well, it's not that different. What will happen if? Start the game of what will happen if we fail with AI. What will happen if, what are the consequences if we have a data breach in that repository? What will happen if AI misbehaves, right? So doing effective and efficient governance, not just for the sake of the checklist. And if I may add something, being an ISACA Hall of Fame, certifications help. And I'm not saying this for the sake of the checklist, but actually enhancing the professional literacy of the board. So having people certified and understanding security management of AI, or auditing the AI, or risk exactly, or risk on AI. That certainly helps. And of course, there are other certifications around, but I certainly celebrate the path that ISACA has taken, leveraging the classical certifications, and all of them have an AI version, and I celebrate that, without forgetting the cybersecurity one, the privacy one, the risk one. So again, as I said on
even the auditing one, which is the oldest. And I'm sorry, I have to tell that too. It's the oldest running
100%.
audited certification worldwide.
Absolutely.
And by the way, we maybe have forgot to mention that to the audience, that ISACA is also an education, or maybe the correct term, academic partner.
The academic
GRC
partner,
Summit
absolutely.
2026 this year.
This is why I celebrate, and I think when I was mentioning on my first answer, elevating the game, that's elevating the game. Is shouting out to the world, this is the way to go. Not just for the checklist sake of things, but understanding, like the younger Ramsés did, that salesman younger Ramsés did, I want to know more, I want to breathe the whys of this. Well, professional certifications and accreditation certainly help on that perspective, understanding the impact, the whys of things, not just the checklist, but the consequences of governance mechanisms of AI and cloud and data privacy and everything. Because if I know something, if this 25-plus-year career has shown me, is that this is a digital world. We live in a digital world, in a very technological world. This is not going back. Quite on the contrary,
it will never
it's moving
go back.
forward. And we are made out of, you know, mobiles and tablets and computers and communication and remote applications, which are in the need of auditing, assurance, cybersecurity, privacy, and etc., including quantum and including AI. So certifications will certainly help. And this GRCAST that I celebrate, thank you for having me, and the summit, I think that are a great proof of what we're talking about here, and especially for the region. Yeah.
Man, thank you so much. It
It's a
was
pleasure.
always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to see you, Ramsés, honestly.
you.
I think the audience doesn't know that, but it is always a pleasure. Thank you so much, and looking forward to see you 2027.
Anytime. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.